Josh Frydenberg today warned business, get ready for more punishment with China. Switch your business from China to somewhere safer if you can. I spoke to the Treasurer a short while ago and asked him, how will China hit us next?
Well, Andrew, Australia has been the target of China's economic coercion. Our exports, like barley, like beef, wine and coal, have been targeted. But despite that, the Australian economy has shown its remarkable resilience, and our exporters have found other markets. I expect Australia to continue to have a challenging relationship with China for some time. But the point of my speech today was to emphasise the resilience of the economy and to underline the fact that we won't compromise on our national interest nor on our values. We will be steadfast, we will be clear, we will be consistent, and we will look for alternative markets.
But you did say you expected more. So far in one quarter, we've lost $1 billion despite the gain in other markets. How bad do you think it could get?
Well, again, China released a list of so-called 14 grievances which they had with Australia. They were everything from our posture on national security issues to foreign investment to the right of politicians to speak their mind, a precondition for our democracy that we love so much. So we'll continue to defend our interests. We'll continue to make very clear to China and indeed to any other country that we won't compromise on those interests. But I expect the relationship to continue to be challenging. I mean, you do point out that it has cost us, but it's also cost the Chinese economy because they haven't been able to receive Australia's high premium, high value exports, whether it's wine, whether it's barley, or indeed whether it's coal, which is so important to their industrialisation. And Australia's goods have been able to find other markets. And my message was not just that the government is increasingly supporting our exporters to diversify, but business needs to continue to be resilient and to build that into their supply chains, to build that into their cybersecurity awareness, and to build that obviously into their market profile by opening up new opportunities.
Any particular industry you think is a bit of a sitting duck that needs to diversify more?
Well, again, the agricultural produce is one that China has targeted. When it comes to commoditised bulk commodities like coal, it's easier to diversify and find new markets, less so with some of the other niche products. With respect to our biggest export, iron ore, China can't find an alternative source of iron ore to Australia, at least in the near term. Our iron ore is high quality and it's obviously very large volumes as well that we export to China as well as to other countries. They're trying to develop new markets or new mines and new supply in Africa, but they can't replicate the Australian iron ore very readily, and that iron ore is obviously critical to their domestic economic strength, but also to their exports, because they're the world's largest steel exporter and they rely on Australian ore to help make that domestic steel production.
Can I just switch to the virus of the pandemic? You have been arguing for more things to open up faster, but you and the Prime Minister have ruled out a Freedom Day, declaring a day, and beyond that, you know, borders will come down and lockdowns will lift or whatever. I wonder why you do that. By October, every adult in this country should have been able to get vaccinated. If they haven't, it's on them. So why should I be locked up for a day longer than whatever the Freedom Day is? Let's call it, I don't know, November 1, whatever day you want to name. Why shouldn't we declare Freedom Day?
Well, Andrew, you're absolutely right that you shouldn't be subject to lockdown or indeed other restrictions a day longer than you have to. And our hope is that once we get to the 70 and 80% vaccination targets, we will see those restrictions ease. We will see people get their freedoms back, the businesses reopen, the kids get back to school, and everything else that comes with living with COVID in a COVID-safe way. The reality is that we can't live in lockdown forever. That we have to learn to live with COVID, and that means getting vaccinated as quickly as possible.
Once we reach a vaccination target, my point is, we could reach a vaccination target if people simply rolled up and got the injection. If they don't, and they can by November 1, it's on them. Why not say Freedom Day, November 1?
Because what we need to do is hit those 70 to 80% targets, because the medical experts tell us it's at that point that you start to see the transmissibility of the virus reduce. It's at that point you start to see a significant drop in the number of people who get seriously sick or indeed tragically have loss of life. And so that is what we're seeking to do.
But it's on them. By November 1, it'll be on them. It'll be on them. If they haven't got vaccinated, it will be on them.
Well, Andrew, it is absolutely on the people who don't get vaccinated that they will obviously be a lot more vulnerable to the impact of the virus. And that is why we have been seeking to give everybody the opportunity to get vaccinated as quickly as possible, because if you don't take steps to protect yourself and your family, you are obviously slowing down the opportunity for the economy to reopen and people to live with COVID in a safe way. So my message is very clear. Go and get vaccinated. Let's hit that 70% target. My message to the states is follow the plan that you agreed to in National Cabinet, and then people can learn to live with COVID, even though tragically some people will get sick. There'll be more cases, but at least we can follow the rest of the world.
A lot more people who get vaccinated in a lot of a hurry. If you said November 1, that's when you open up. And if you die, it's on you, because you didn't get vaccinated in time, when the vaccines are there now. After the break, Meghan Markle, Britain's broadcasting watchdog, says, of course, Piers Morgan has a right to say that Meghan Markle can't be believed. But this ruling should also humiliate the Duchess herself. Let me show you exactly why you can't trust her after this.